Hello everybody, J.Yumeko here, and today we're back with the house in Fata Morgana. Now I know that in one of these past videos I may have mentioned that I was going to try and get this video out within like a certain time frame, and most guaranteedly that time frame is completely passed by. But you know, I have a lot of stuff going on outside of this, so you know, school. I got a new car. That's cool, right? But you know my track record with promises. Anyways, I think last time we left off, it was revealed to us that the blonde-haired maid, I forget her name, it's like Marie or something like that. She was actually like the manipulator behind Jacopo and our falling out, essentially, and our broken relationship. Pretty much from the get-go, she was out to get Jacopo. We don't know exactly why yet, but obviously it seems that they are not friends still, because they were friends in childhood, but they're clearly not anymore. So, and then we just kind of seem to have been caught up in the crossfire, essentially. Well, I guess there's no crossfire, there's just a single line of fire. But you get my point. So, let's go ahead and jump right back into it. I'm sorry if my voice is not completely up to par. These allergies have been killing me, and my throat is just destroyed right now. So, you know, that's fun. Master, are you shocked? Or did you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the same time, I too believed that Maria was the white-haired girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then I now know how the tale ends, you say? Yes, that is correct. Well aware that it is not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was on the white-haired girl's side. Oh my, I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning, when Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in shadow. I wanted you to know the same feelings of consternation that I had experienced. Oh god. Alright, let's watch her fall into a deep despair once again and probably inevitably die. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him. Let's pause for a second. I think my theory right now is that I think Jacopo's gonna do something like really bad to her that probably will end up in her being killed. And I think once that happens, that's when he'll find these letters and realize, like, oh shit, I've been lied to. Just a theory. Fuck. I'm gonna be coughing a lot this video. I apologize. And her desire for their relationship to return to what it had been. My beloved, I'm sure your hands are quite full right now, but that's fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was, perhaps, the most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave me, for it is the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It would be nice if, someday, you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little farther away, and we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although, I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite, personally. Do I, perhaps, have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering them, however. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and in the space below write a different name. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of a letter, but Maria could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Again? Another letter? Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters looked like professions of love for another man. The more inscribed her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed toward him. I can't believe what I'm reading! A restaurant more to your liking? I knew it. You have been going out with other men, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave me? God's sake. You have to be fucking kidding me. But I've ensured that she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time, she'll let go. And so will he. Listen to me. Resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How could I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering, but when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacopo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It's been quite some time since we last saw each other, so I know not what you've been doing of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you in person, but I do not have the courage, so these letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. I apologize. You're never going to get a response, though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these, or your lover, to get them. I could just stop reading them. It would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild, fantasizing about her writing to this other man, and what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'd be better off knowing the truth and torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, and then pore over the text when he was alone. I assume he did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria, he would have almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could someone who had lived as isolated a life as her have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited for so long? Would you believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters, day after day, week after week, without hiatus. She had, by and large, run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there's a little bit of a fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in a thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it does make me rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time, You have not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay it a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you. I imagine you would have, with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display.
An exhibition? Ah, that's right. There was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention, since it was supposed to have been held in Perry. I was busy, preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition. And while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I had never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man? Has this been going on for that long?
He had simply stepped up and taken action. He could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstanding. He needed merely ask the white-haired girl in person to whom the letters were addressed whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have all been unraveled. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. I feel as though I have now, at long last, come to understand just what kind of man Jacopo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he had had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would have been so afraid. Perhaps he would have not been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid. Afraid of being rejected by her. Afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him. Where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully. Where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name on the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do any such thing, of course. But Jacopo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said.
If I could figure out who this man is and where he resides, I could make him tell me every last detail about his relationship with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread and would have reached the Cosca? Jeez. Oh my God. Ah! The fate of the Bersatis is in your hands, son. There's a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we'll wither away and die. And not just this family. This whole island will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Capo Famiglia was an incredibly reticent man. It took all he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world, but I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzati family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly. It would be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Berzati name climbing the social ladder in order to... in short order, we're going to have everything whipped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only going to be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Power? Yes, those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to allow a Capo Famiglia that they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through a forest. Once that flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If by any chance your fiancé is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you, and never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. This is your responsibility. The fate of the Rosati family is in your head. I must keep intercepting her letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I can't allow anyone to learn about how she's disgraced me. Kill her. That's how my old man used to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not yet. God damn it! It's downright wrong for me to even be having these feelings for someone. Fuck!
Master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along?
Coming along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out and have him wait.
Is something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy.
I'm fine.
If you're not feeling well, you should stay.
I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition.
Yes, sir.
Damn it. Keep it under wraps. Act normal. You can at least do that much, damn you.
Take care on your trip, Master.
Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That we... Hey, speak up! Die, Jacopo Berzate!
Master! There's a knife in your stomach. Oh God, someone, anyone!
Silence! Don't make a scene! Call a doctor!
Yes, sir!
Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. The world is going white. Come on now. You have to be kidding. Oh? I mean, a stomach stab wound is very bad. Okay. I know very well. Oh, see. I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off others' lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions. And you never have. You've always been this way. Oh, does he live? That'd be crazy if he lived. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means something. They would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, And to do that, I had to rise to the top. Or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man. Who actually wants to go through life being laughed at? I had to make them recognize that what I did had value, and I needed neither love nor compassion to do it. Or, that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down, I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman, who was being made to marry a man she'd never even met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. But because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. It didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured behind the veil, was gorgeous. And crucially, she was smiling at me. I'd expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes. But instead, she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did. I want to ensure that she always had a smile on her face. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it. Ugh, I feel nauseous. What time is it? The world's a blur. So hot.
Ooh, you mustn't get up. The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever.
What are you doing here?
I was told that you'd been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal.
How did you make it out of...
Pardon?
Oh, I see. Maria opened it.
Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better.
Yes. No. Stay by my side for a little longer.
Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything.
My hand.
Your hand?
Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine.
Like this.
Your hand is quite cold.
It probably feels that way because of your fever. Yes?
I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you was what I had been searching for my whole life.
Let me take a wild guess and say that this isn't actually the white-haired girl. We've seen before that, some of these characters are crazy enough to impersonate the white-haired girl for manipulative purposes. So, that's not out the window.
Laugh at you if you'd like. I felt like I'd finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt.
You should get some sleep.
Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's fine.
My hand is in yours.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh, shit. No way.
You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me.
No way. Okay. I thought this was going to be a lot more of a malicious scene, but I guess not.
It was all a dream. Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. She would never come to my room. She's involved with other men.
Jacopo, may I come in? I have another letter.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Okay. I feel like we're getting to that point, and I don't like it. Okay, let's just recap a little bit here, right? Hold up. Can we pause? It's not necessarily a pause function in this game, but... Oh, God. Okay. So, I mean, obviously the main theme in all of these stories is love, right? I mean, you know, the flaxen-haired boy loved the white-haired girl. The beast loved the white-haired girl. Well, kind of, in a twisted way. And Jacopo loves the white-haired girl. But there's always that third-party factor, right? There's always a third party. In, the flaxen-haired boy's story, it was his sister. In the beast story, I guess technically it was, God, what was her name? It started with a P. It was the beast fiance. It was her, technically. Although you could also say that it might have also been that boy. Oh, what was his name? It was like Jose or something like that. But it was also kind of him as well. And you know, in this one it's Maria. And obviously not all of them have had bad intentions. Mainly with the beast story, it wasn't necessarily like bad intentions. I mean, obviously the beast, you know, we've come to find out was just a straight up psychopath, but yeah, no, this one is a lot less, I guess, mysterious. You know, the first one was, ooh, where did this girl come from? What's the intricacies of their relationship to each other, and yada yada yada. The next one was, oh, okay, who's the beast, right? What happened to the girl's fiance? And then, oh, the big reveal. But this one's a lot more straightforward, which I like, you know? It's just straight up, yeah, no, it's just Maria being a fucking bitch. Which I assume we're probably going to find out at some point why she's doing that. But you get my point.
The white-haired girl's persistent letters did nothing to improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with the gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed and never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change. Her mental state. It's pointless, madam. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw your letter into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file for divorce already. No. I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually I'll get through to him. So I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madam? Jacopo doesn't trust you even in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch, a man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and beautiful as you. He says I am a witch. Listen to me, madam. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. He used you. But last year, when we went out together, he gave me the Phenacus wheel at the photography shop. He had the owners make it specially for me. He was just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a paper toy. He would have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace or some perfume or a nice dress. Something women really like. Has he never gotten you anything like that? He doesn't have feelings for me. I'm sorry. I just couldn't stand to see you going through this, but I don't know when to shut my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need is to be hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, madam. I know I've suggested you getting the divorce, but to be honest, part of me kinda doesn't actually want you to split up. Despite knowing you staying with him is just causing you pain, you've made it this far. I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe you actually will stop paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep waiting, keep writing, and I will not divorce him. Yeah, alright. So please, keep delivering my letters to him. You're my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh, yes, one more thing. If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me how he's been and what he's been doing lately? I do not have much else to write about, so if I could at least relieve some of his work-related stress. I am his wife, after all. I should be doing that much for him. I am his wife. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscientious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight, and her spirit was breaking down. It is said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite can also be true. The act of waiting, of fervently believing for so many months, despite the object of one's affection not returning them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. And no matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be, with enough time, it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. It's pointless, Jacopo. Wait all you want, you won't get her back. If she's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel. But God Almighty, it's only how she looks. You've changed a bit. What? Have I? The older you'd be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the madam. Now you just get quiet. I'm just a little tired. You could break it off then. What? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's going to suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put a family's good name to use. To put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madam's never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. I'm sure she felt very alone, and so she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to her. So without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly and without a fuss. It'll be easier for you that way. I can't. Because you still love her. And that's wonderful, Jacopo. After everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point.
Perhaps it is a foolish, unhealthy obsession, but I still do not wish to sever ties with her. I can't get the image of her smile out of my head. The look of utter elation on her face as she looked through the phenakistoscope. I don't know how to say that. Those captivating eyes underneath the veil at our wedding. I'll never, for as long as I live, forget those sights.
You color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. Well, I guess you have always been that kind of mushy. I guess you always have been kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart, despite how you may look. It's not a bad thing, though, in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now, but all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry, if you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with the other men.
No, that will not be necessary.
What?
I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and I still couldn't do anything. This time, I'm planning on facing her myself.
You serious, Jacopo?
Yes. I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find out that my wife was being unfaithful. And I thought the best way to ensure that was by locking her up away from everyone else. But the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later, word of her infidelity will leak. So before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something.
It's probably for the best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want. Make sure things start improving.
I appreciate everything you've done, and I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going down it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her.
You might get violent again if you see her face to face.
Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it's reached a point where, until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve.
I see. You'll need a way to break the ice then.
Break the ice?
Right. If you've got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it'll reduce some tension and make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. The Transcontinental Railroad you've been funding. That's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There'll be a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it. And then you can invite her to ride the first train. You've put your heart and soul into this project and it's finally been realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that's ripe for many good things to happen.
It's going to be the
It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across this massive continent, carrying on them the people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own on it too?
Right. Yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which makes long trips difficult. But this new rail system should make them much less straining. It would allow me to show her the world.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It'll be great. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate Maria so much. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Oh, here we go. Oh my god, my fucking sides. Seriously, they're a goddamn riot, the both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep on getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. Ah, my god, Maria, you're terrible. And these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real man is rolling in a fucking grave.
Now, I must say I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacopo. A shame that the squirming loser, paralysed by insecurities, made a road for you. If they do end up figuring it out, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticising steel, but my kind of seems a little smaller in scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. No matter how this plays out, you will not have a happy ending, Jacopo. You're going to get a real taste of just how much I despise you. Maria, oh there you are. What is it? I'm on break right now. You were starting to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, headmate's saying it hasn't been done yet. What? I did. I cleaned it. Just a casual once over, but hey. We'll do it again, and do it right this time. Because if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. You're not supposed to make me give a damn. I mean it. You take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right. I heard you the first time. I'll take care of it. And don't you forget it. And for God's sake, why should I have to be the one to tell her? Is she gone? Oh, what a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar is clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there. Yeesh. I guess I should take care of it. Better that than a tongue lashing by the head maid. God, why did I have to be a maid anyway? What a dank place. Oh, it's so dark and humid down here. Makes me feel gross. Someone there? Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? It came farther in. Whoa, it's seriously dusty back here. You were supposed to clean this last week. I'll clean my own thing next time, damn it. Just makes my job harder. Disgusting. God, damn cobwebs. Oh, God. Oh, dear God. I do not want to clean this. Ow! For God's sake, stack this stuff properly. Now I've got to fix this whole mess. Oh, for the love of... What's this? Something carved into the floor. Never noticed this before. Someone got bored one day. What do we have here? Oh, it's mostly eligible. Let's see. It's not written in English, but my native language. But it's not modern. It's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in the New World? Most of it's eligible, but I can make out one section. Oh, I'm sorry, eligible. Illegible. My bad. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those which with sin upon their souls, for the redemption of those whom are pure. Should you mean not to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwell within this house, but not I. What the? A witch? That's crazy. That's crazy. But why does the handwriting look like mine? It's just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. No, forget it. Didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real, just a tasteless prank. This is silly. There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has it always been here? Huh? White hair, fair skin. Is this the madam? But then, why is her face all torn up? And her clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems worn and faded too. Something about it feels off. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. The writing on the floor and this painting. What is with this house? It's just a painting. Nothing to get weirded out over. I bet I know what happened. Jacobo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this would probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. Alright, and we're gonna stop it right there. Alright, let's go ahead and save.
Okay, so an interesting little bit of information. So there's writing on the floor in Maria's own tongue, in handwriting that looks very similar to hers, talking about a witch and talking about how only sinners have dwelt in this house or something along those lines. And there's a picture of the white-haired girl, presumably an old picture, mind you, that has been torn up and stuffed into a box. So the picture is fairly easy. Excuse me. The picture is fairly easy to explain away, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious, that both the white-haired girl and the black-haired maid are strangely recurring characters, though it seems as though the black-haired maid is kind of just consistently around. Like, she's, she doesn't really have, like, life or death or specific memories. She's just kind of been around the mansion, presumably since it was built or since it was cursed. And then also, of course, the white-haired girl, different situation, not retaining her memories throughout each of these, I guess, eras or each of these stories, but still being the white-haired girl nonetheless. So, yeah, I mean, everything's really just still shrouded in the mystery because we don't really know anything. We don't know why these two are, recurring in this mansion. We don't know what's wrong with the mansion, why it seems to bring tragedy upon those who live in it. Like, this shrouded in mystery. But this does potentially give a hint. Maybe a witch's curse, right? I mean, it could just be as simple as that. But as for why Maria's handwriting specifically is here, that's another question. So some immediate theories for me that come to mind is that maybe, well, what? Because it was talking about sinners and stuff, right? What was it talking about? God, I already forget. Can I go back, actually? Let's see. I just want to see if we can, like, reread that bit there. Can we go back? Is there a log, maybe? Autosave a little backlog, right? Here we go. Okay. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So, our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls for the redemption of those who are pure. Should ye mean not to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of these sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house, but not I. And keep in mind, this is supposedly only a fraction, or not a fraction of, but part of this whole thing, because like I said, most of it is illegible. But just from this little bit, I want to specifically point out the line, let's see, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls for the redemption of those whom are pure. I want to kind of keep in mind that line there. If we were to apply that line to our current situation, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls. I mean, clearly there's been a lot of kind of terrible people in this. You could potentially argue with the flaxen-haired family's situation, or you could even make the argument that, well, it was the younger sister who kind of caused all this shit to happen, and incest is a sin, right? Like, whether you're talking about that religiously or morally, that is pretty sinful. We don't even need to go over why the beast would be sinful. And, we don't need to go over why Jacopo or Maria would be sinful. And so it's for the redemption of those whom are pure. Redemption of those whom are pure. So this could insinuate that the reason why the white-haired girl goes through all this fucking terrible shit is for a greater goal to be reached. Something of a heaven, I guess. You know, something like that. You know, the first thing that it kind of brings to mind for me is like, you know, like a Jesus type story. You know, where, okay, for kind of the greater good and for the elevation to resurrection, right? Having to go through the torture and the crucifixion. You know, that kind of thing is kind of what that line gives, you know, reminds me of. Let's see. Should you mean not to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. So that's another thing right there. Specifically saying that you want to essentially only affect the bloodlines of sinners. Affect them with this curse that has supposedly been applied to the mansion, or again, just to those who reside within the mansion. Let's see here. The blood of these sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But then at the end it says, but not I. That's interesting, because Maria claims that it looks like it's in her handwriting. So, and it looks like it kind of trails off. So I don't know if it's like, but not I, and then it's supposed to say something after, or it's saying, but not I, as in, you know, my blood, or, you know, has not dwelt within this household. So very interesting right there. Just a quick little like random lore drop. But that's going to be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video or series, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you'll be notified when one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one.